I'm William Kumwembe with Business Time on Times Television. It is a magazine program where we bring you major business and economic news stories making headlines. And in the program today, economic commentators warn on effects of the anticipated El Nino weather. And we seek reactions on Mera's decision to nod to a 31.8% electricity tariff hike. We have these and other stories.
How to contact support. You can call us on 099 Skyband or 021 Skyband. You can send us an email, helpdesk@skyband.mw, or find our physical address on our website and come see us in person. Skyband.
Hello and welcome. And in our main story today, economic commentators have warned that the anticipated El Nino weather during the next growing season could seriously threaten Malawi's economic growth prospects for 2019. The Department of Climate Change Meteorological Services on Monday warned that there is a likelihood of an El Nino weather condition during the 2018-2019 rainfall season, which would influence floods and drought in some areas of the country. We have the detail in this report.
Presenting the 2018-2019 national budget in Parliament, Finance Minister Gudo Gwandwe predicted that the economy would accelerate in 2018 and 2019 due to what he described as the many infrastructure development projects lined up in the energy and agriculture sectors, most of which are growth enablers. Gwandwe said government is committed to continue implementing sound macroeconomic policies aimed at spurring growth and creating jobs by focusing on productive sectors outlined in the Malawi Growth and Development Strategy 3 with strong multiplier effects. But briefing reporters on Monday, the Department of Climate Change and Meteorological Services warned that there is a likelihood of a moderate El Nino weather condition during the 2018-2019 rainfall season, which would influence floods and drought in some areas of the country. The department's director, Jola Munkokwe, said El Nino is expected to hit Malawi between September and November this year.
We are saying that this is a year whereby climate experts have indicated that models are projecting that there will be El Nino. And this El Nino will be a weak El Nino. And this El Nino will be established by end of November. And because of that indications of a weak El Nino, what we are saying is that the nation should expect no more to above normal rainfall amounts by end of March in the north, spilling over to the northern parts of central Malawi. While in the south, we are going to have no more to below normal rainfall amounts, spilling over to the south of central areas of the country.
Chancellor College Economics Professor Ben Kalua said the over-reliance on rain-fed agriculture has left Malawi vulnerable to shocks in the weather patterns. Kalua said Malawi continues to over-rely on agriculture to propel her economy. He said the once-a-year type of agriculture Malawi practices worsens the situation as any pockets of crop failure results in hunger. He observed that Malawi should have invested in irrigation agriculture a long time ago to hedge against changes in weather patterns. Dean of Social Sciences at the Catholic University, Gilbert Kajamba, said the anticipated bad weather pattern would translate into economic shocks since Malawi still heavily relies on agriculture. Kachamba said there is a need to make advanced plans on how Malawi can mitigate the impacts of weather shocks. But Minister of Agriculture and Water Development, Joseph Mwanamveka, said there is no need for Malawians to press the panic button as Capitol Hill is putting in place measures to minimize the impacts of the El Nino. Mwanamveka said Capitol Hill continues to buy maize despite having enough stocks to cover this year. He added that government has put in place restrictions to avoid unnecessary exportation of maize from Malawi. El Nino is an unusual warming of waters over the eastern central equatorial Pacific Ocean and is known to influence rainfall patterns across the world, including Southern Africa and Malawi. Malawi last experienced moderate El Nino phenomenon in the years 2002 to 2003, as well as 2009 to 2010. From Blantyre, this is Taonga Sabola.
Now, Malawi, like most African countries, remains susceptible to shocks of illicit financial flows due to lack of political will and enabling policies to help curb the vice. This is the message from the African Forum and Network on Data and Development, AFRODAT, a regional civil society organization lobbying for and advocating debt cancellation and addressing other debt-related issues. Illicit financial flows are illegal movements of money or capital from one country to another. But how is Malawi affected? This is a question we attempted in this report.
The Global Financial Integrity estimated that Malawi lost about 278 million US dollars, an equivalent to 204.3 billion waja, due to forex externalization, one of the forms of IFF. Speaking in an interview, Afrodad Executive Director Fanuel Bogosi says illicit financial flows continue draining resources, including tax revenues, and hinder the level of savings required to address key development issues. He said while illicit financial flows are difficult to estimate, impact of the resource lost remains very huge.
The illicit financial flows are difficult to estimate because of the nature of the illicit financial flows. The basic definition is that there are funds transferred illegally or earned illegally or used illegally, mostly across borders to other parts of the world. They're difficult to estimate, but the last estimate in 2014 by the Global Financial Integrity indicated that Malawi was estimated to lose at least 178 million US dollars in illicit financial flows. In the context of Malawi, we need to understand that that is money that could be used for other things. Now, if you look at the actual magnitude of the figures compared to other countries on the continent, figures from Malawi look small, probably because of the scale of the economy in Malawi. But in terms of the impact of those lost resources on the development of the country, it is very huge. So I would rather not focus on the actual magnitude, but as a percentage of GDP and what that money could have actually achieved in this country.
What are the effects of illicit financial flows?
The effects of illicit financial flows is that they take away money that otherwise would have been used for different reasons in the country. They also encourage criminal activities because people have to move that money. In order for them to move that money in an illicit manner, they will have to either bribe people or not follow the laws of the country, and therefore it leads to acts of criminality. And the final thing for me is that we need to look at illicit financial flows as a lost opportunity.
He says eventually the government would be forced to borrow locally and internationally, and those loans come with high interest. Financial professor at the Polytechnic, James Kamachali Komba, recently did a study on innovative financing of education in Malawi, which highlighted illicit financial flows among major leaking points for resources that would help develop the economy. In a telephone interview on Tuesday, Komba said the economy has been losing billions of kwachas to IFF. He said the jury was on authorities to use all means necessary by creating deliberate policies to curb the vice.
The Malawi Energy Regulatory Authority, MERA, on Monday rejected a 60% power tariff increase application ESCOM submitted. Instead, MERA reduced it to 31.8% spread over for 4 years, with 20% effected on October 1st, 2018. Our journalist Chimwemwe Mangazi Nilongwe sought reactions from stakeholders and has filed this report.
The decision by the Malawi Energy Regulatory Authority MERA to approve a 31.8% increase in electricity tariffs has excited the private sector, stressing that all it needed was a rate lower than 53% in the first year. On Monday, MERA announced that the Electricity Supply Corporation of Malawi ESCOM will from October 1 implement an average 20% increase in electricity charges, to be followed by a 7% increase in the second year, a reduction of -3% in the third year, and a final 10% increase in the fourth year. Chief Executive Officer of the Malawi Confederation of Chambers of Commerce and Industry, MCCCI, Chancellor Kafera Banjira, said the private sector is pleased as it lobbied and advocated for a lower than 53% requested by ESCOM. He said they noticed a number of inefficiencies that were incorporated on ESCOM's request. He said an increase was inevitable in order to achieve the cost-reflective tariff, but the extent of the increase was the issue to the private sector. However, the Center for Social Concern has said the continued rise of electricity in the country turns out to be very dramatic, inconsiderable, and a mockery to the citizenry. The center's Economic Governance Programs Officer, Lucky Mfungwe, said this comes at a time the government raised electricity tariff to borrow and manage the generators, which have been characterized as a means of siphoning resources from the start at procurement stage to management of resources, let alone a fuel grid. When asked whether ESCOM was planning to exploit Malawians by demanding a 60% increase when the authority has reviewed and seen that it would be able to operate at a 31.8% increase, Chairperson of MERA Bishop Joseph Vumbwe said he cannot respond on behalf of ESCOM, but the authority saw it that the parastatal will be able to operate if they effect the 31.8% increase.
In the public understanding, that may be true. But when you look, like we did now in MERA, at the real cost, how much it costs to generate power, maybe that is not the whole truth about it. The 20% could actually now bring the tariff to where it should be for ESCOM to be able to provide the power it must provide to the people. You must also look at the regions. Of course, the method of generating power differs from one country to the other, but Malawi is still at the bottom when it comes to the tariff. Of course, this might be considered high. There is indeed too much blackouts, but as I've said, there is the basis upon which MERA has approved this tariff. So even though we may not expect change right away, but we hope there should be change within a foreseeable future. We have agreed on benchmarks to ensure that we can hold ESCOM accountable. So Malawians, yes, but I should say they should not worry much that this 20% is going to be another waste. We will hold ESCOM accountable to ensure that the 20% should improve the production of electricity, and then that improvement should go. When you go through across the 4 years, the 5 years, you will see that there will be points where electricity will actually go down. This is possibly when the generators have been taken off the grid, and then more cheaper power has come on board. So there are all sorts of things that we have agreed with ESCOM, and we are hoping that ESCOM will deliver this time. We must all hold them accountable, but it was the duty of MERA to understand their side of the story as an industry, not to frustrate them, and on the other hand, to protect the interest of Malawians. And we think that as a board, we have done both those things.
The international community have in the past said that there is need for ESCOM to implement a cost-reflective tariff for it to be able to end the electricity wars persisting in the country. From Lilongwe, I'm Chimwemwe Mangazi.
Remember, this is Business Time here on Times Television with me, William Kumwembe. It is a magazine program where we bring you major business and economic news stories making headlines. When we get back, local firms secure $10 million deals in Zambia.
Relax. Here's how to connect. 1. Turn on your wireless card and connect to the Skyband hotspot. 2. Open your web browser and enter the login and 8-digit password exactly as it appears. 3. Now you can relax and surf the internet at any of our hotspots. Skyband.
Welcome back. 11 Malawian companies that recently traveled to Zambia under the Market Identification Program have secured deals worth about $10 million to supply cooking oil, seed and grain, among other commodities. The program is being championed by the Malawi Investment and Trade Center. Chimwemwe Mangazi with the whole story.
The program is being championed by the Malawi Investment and Trade Center, MITC. The companies include government-owned Grain Trader Agriculture Development and Marketing Corporation (ADMAC), Capital Oil Refining Industry Corrie, Suncrest Creameries, Export Development Fund, and African Women in Agribusiness. Buying companies from Zambia include the Aurora Group, CHC Commodities, Collateral Managers International, Zambia Commodity Exchange, Afrig Zambia, Southern National Import and Export, Melissa Supermarket, Leila Investments, and Sana Supermarket. MITC Public Relations Manager Delebe Chimbalu said the trade mission to Zambia was a success.
The Enhanced Integrated Framework Project is one of the projects that MIF is implementing through the Ministry of Industry, Trade and Tourism, as well as NASFAM. The component that MITC is implementing is basically to promote Malawian value-added products into regional and international markets. And also the project is supporting the coming up with an agricultural special economic zone for Malawi. So in terms of finding markets for Malawian products, MITC has been conducting several activities, including trade missions to various countries. If you can remember very well, we had a mission in Tanzania and Mbeya where we conducted the first Malawi and Tanzania Investment and Trade Forum. That was part of the initiative by the project to try to find markets for Malawian products. And also recently we have conducted some trade missions to Zambia and South Africa, and we have others scheduled for Mozambique as well as China. So this is part of the project's objectives to try and find markets for Malawian products. The Zambian trade mission, we can describe it as very successful. We took about 13 companies that accompanied us to this mission. We arranged B2B meetings with serious buyers in Zambia who have expressed interest to have deals with Malawian companies. We have in mind an association of business women here in Malawi that have managed to find markets for their seed and grains, and this is amounting to almost $10 million in terms of the export orders that they have found there. There are some other companies that also were with us during this Zambia mission. They have managed to find deals to supply cooking oil to the Zambian market. Some also have managed to find markets for their dairy products, that's Suncrest Creameries, and some other companies have found markets for their groundnuts, soya, and the like. So the mission, we can say it was successful and it was very fruitful.
Lide Musaya is Chief Executive Officer of Women in Agribusiness, one of the companies that made the trip to Zambia.
As African women in agribusiness, we feel that the Zambian trade mission was a success. And this is because we got to attend the World Export Development Forum, which gave us a platform to meet businesses from all over the world. Through that platform, we got to engage different companies that have given us orders and some that were even willing to sign contracts on the spot. At the moment, we've even had some of the businesses, come to Malawi to meet us further and take samples. So we believe that, some of these business deals are going to materialize. Additionally, we got to meet companies that were willing to invest in our organization, and we're still carrying these conversations further. But then I think the biggest revelation was to find out that our products, Malawian products, are in high demand in Zambia.
The project is helping the Malawi government promote its value-added products on regional and international markets. According to MITC, similar trade missions have also been organized for South Africa, Mozambique, and China. From Lilongwe, I am Chimwemwe Mangazi.
The youths have been challenged to be innovative and establish businesses to beat unemployment challenges facing Malawi. That advice is coming from Chikumbuto Chakadzula, co-founder of Incubator Malawi. This is the only company making incubators that hatch eggs in the country and is currently looking to expand its market share into the region. Our journalist Chimwemwe Mangazi caught up with Chakadzula in this interview.
We at Incubators Malawi, we manufacture egg incubators right here in Malawi to international standards. Come up with an incubator, first of all, we make a frame. After we make a frame, and then we go through the what we call fabrication process. From there, the electricians, they install the electronics, and then an incubator is done. So far, the business, it has been well for us. We started about 4 years ago, but the past 2 years, they've been good for us in terms of sales. The sales, they've been good. We've been receiving a lot of customers, both from Malawi and international customers. Our customers are local farmers, mostly, and some other people who have that passion of raising poultry birds. Yeah, those are most of our customers. And we have also sold our incubators to institutions and other organizations who would like to go into maybe poultry projects. It all started when we were looking for an incubator. So we went around Malawi, we found that there's nobody at that particular time who was manufacturing egg incubators. So we had to do a research and see what we could do to make our own incubator. Now, after we made our own incubator, we saw that people, they were more interested in what we did. And they started coming, okay, can you do one for us? Can you do one for us? And then we saw that there was a problem. In Malawi, there's nobody selling incubators, there's nobody manufacturing. And now to import an incubator from China or wherever they are manufacturing, it would be costly. And even the prices to get it here, they will be very high. So we decided to start manufacturing here in Malawi and then selling to those people who were in need of incubators at that particular time. And now, after 2 years, we have seen that the demand has grown. And then we decided to set up a company to start manufacturing incubators and sell it to all those people who are in the poultry businesses. So far, let's say maybe in 6 months, we were able to sell up to 50 incubators. What I would tell the youths out there who are just waiting to get jobs, I'll tell them that unemployment, it's a global problem. You go everywhere in the world, you find that the unemployment rate is high. So whatever you can do, whatever talent you have, continue with that particular thing you're doing. And then you can at least make money for yourself to survive.
And as we proceed with the program, let us now have a look at how the Malawi kwacha is faring against major trading currencies on the foreign exchange market. Now, in other news, cement manufacturing firm Lafarge is giving back to communities where it is carrying out its mining activities. At the weekend, the firm donated medical equipment to Uncapped Health Center in Cheu District. Speaking when delivering the equipment, Lafarge Business Development Manager said the move is part of the firm's corporate social responsibility.
Basically, we are operating in this society. So as a corporate member of the society, we felt it necessary to look at some areas where we can help in addressing some of the challenges. We identified areas in health, and that's why you saw us donating some medical equipment, beds, mattresses, as well as drugs. We also identified some needs at the school where we have made a donation of 20 bags of cement and also some footballs and netballs just to make sure that sporting activities are promoted at the school. So just like I said, because we are operating in this society, we intend to continue operating in the unforeseeable future, and this is why we feel we are part of the society. As part of the society, we need to also contribute to the development and well-being of the society where we are operating in. We've been operating in this area for the past 6 months, but we intend to continue operating for the next probably 20 years or so. So it's a long-term activity that is happening here, and this is just the beginning. So as you've seen, and from what I said as well, This is just the beginning of our corporate social responsibility activities in this area. We'll continue doing this from time to time in this area. So first of all, we'll continue identifying the social needs in the area and looking at where we can help. We will continue doing so from time to time. For Lafarge, safety is our #1 priority. We make sure that wherever we are operating, we cannot allow activities to continue before we conduct risk assessments and we are convinced that the people, the equipment and the surrounding are safe from any safety hazards that may be identified. So we value safety and it's our culture in safety. So to this end, we have a structure of safety where we have the health and safety manager, we have safety officers both in the mine as well as on the roads. As you saw, there was a sort of road safety campaign sensitizing people around the area on the importance of respecting signage, on the importance of adhering to giving way to vehicles and mobile equipment around and passing along the roads here. So we have a robust structure in place which addresses all safety challenges as well as promoting health wherever we are carrying out operations.
Well, with that story, we've also come to the end of today's edition of the program Business Time here on Times Television. It is a magazine program where we bring you major business and economic news stories making headlines in the country. On behalf of the entire production team, my name is William Kumwembe. But always remember, if it doesn't make money, it doesn't make sense. Bye for now.
At Skyband, we offer a variety of products and services to meet your needs and requirements. We have Evo services, which connect to our 4G WiMAX network across Malawi. We offer social Wi-Fi, which allows you to browse the internet using your Facebook and Google accounts on any of our over 150 hotspots nationwide. For our corporate customers, we offer uncapped internet services, corporate MPLS and VPN connections, a state-of-the-art data center, hosted services, Metro Fiber in Ilongwe and Blantyre, and many more. At Skyband, we help you to stay connected, whether at work, in your home, or on the go. Skyband, Malawi's leading internet services provider.